Hello, this is Howard Cooper from Rapid Changeworks, and today we're examining the question, is anxiety actually useful? I mean, in light of all this corona stuff, does anxiety actually protect us in any way? So I'm seeing huge numbers of people all over the internet, especially in light of the corona pandemic, talking about how they're more anxious than they've ever been. They're suffering from overwhelm and distress, and it's often pointing at the impact of corona. And part of me thought, well, why aren't people kind of seeking help with all of this? And I think one of the reasons why is that there's a deep underlying belief that people have that anxiety somehow protects them. Somehow anxiety, that the fight, flight, freeze response is somehow helping them in some way. But I think we could break this down and actually work out, is that actually true? So let's just talk in evolutionary terms for a second and go back thousands of years ago, where we're sitting in our cave looking out and cooking our warthog dinner, and what are the likely threats that are going to be there? Well, it might be a saber-toothed tiger runs in trying to pounce on us unexpectedly, and in that situation, probably a huge influx of adrenaline that causes the body to be able to react faster or run away quicker, or that primal fear response essentially is a useful one in that context. But now, if we scoot forwards though to modern life and start examining, is this primal protection mechanism of anxiety that was useful in that context, is it useful now? And the reality is not really. You can't run away from the coronavirus or punch it or wait for it to pounce and then flee. This is something that's a longer term stress and strain over however long, and the primal fear response is not useful for us. Despite this idea that people think anxiety is protecting me in some way, that may have been true millions of years ago in that context of saber-toothed tiger, but it's not now. Think about it this way. When you were young, it's likely that you were taught to cross the road using fear, i.e. mum would say to you, don't run out into the road because you'll get splattered. You'll get run over. However, how many adults do you see at the side of the road freaking out? Not many, right? And the reason why is at some point in that journey you learn to upgrade that fear response to use wisdom. If I take action of looking both ways and wait until the road's clear, I don't need to have anxiety in order to stay safe. In fact, if you are panicking and freaking out, standing at the side of the road, you might not be in the best headspace to take the appropriate action. And that's really the point here. The anxiety is no longer protecting. The anxiety is getting in the way of us being sensible and using wisdom and having clear-headed and clear thinking. And that's really what we need to have in terms of the corona pandemic. We need to have a set of clear thinking and calm and a feeling of centered in order to best navigate. Now, when the first British person died from corona, and as I'm recording this, that was about 4 weeks ago now, I was invited to go on LBC and talk about corona anxiety and how as a nation we could manage those concerns. And it had been highlighted by the fact that there had been the first death. And the presenter, really great guy, but kind of poking fun a little bit towards the end of the interview, said to me, well, Howard, how many times have you washed your hands? And I said, probably more than I might normally do, or an appropriate amount of time. But here's the difference. I can wash my hands and take action without my heart beating out my chest thinking, this is the end, or this means there's catastrophe, or this means I'm gonna die. I'm taking the correct action using wisdom, but I can do that without the anxiety being there, from a place of clear-headedness and calm. So that's really the point. We have to make a distinction between, does anxiety protect us? Not really. The best thing to do would be to have a state of calm and clear thinking and connect with that. That's the best way we can navigate this thing. So where does this leave us? Well, I really want to help people begin to develop that ability to stay calm, have clarity of thought, despite there being clearly a time of uncertainty around us. I want to help people find ways to deal effectively with it as best they can. from the premise that anxiety isn't really that useful. So I've created a 12-week program. It's a support program to help people with corona anxiety, lockdown overwhelm, deal with the stresses and strains that are coming because of all of this. I can't cure corona, and I'm not suggesting that everyone's going to leave the program being, I am totally motivated to now climb Mount Everest. Some of it might just be about helping you let go of the need to feel like you have to be productive. Maybe that's also the most productive thing you can do. But I'd love to have you with me on this journey. There's going to be live webinars, there's going to be ongoing community support. So please, it's also, by the way, free for health/social care key workers as a way of giving back. And for everyone else, I've made it massively reduce the price from my normal programs so that it should be affordable, or as affordable as it can be. Be great to see you there.